So how'd you get your start? Did you play as a kid? How did you find yourself to be general manager in the Dubuque Fighting Saints?
Normal stories. Played youth hockey as a kid. Born in Toronto, grew up in the Ottawa Valley, and just loved the sport. Played outdoors in the winter. Obviously the local club, and had success as a kid, and ended up going playing juniors and then playing college hockey. And played at Clarkson University in upstate New York, and that was kind of my beginning here in the U.S. And exposure to USA hockey and the development here in the country. Got a chance to play some minor pro in the United Hockey League in Michigan, in Port Huron, and that's kind of where my career ended and coaching career started and getting involved in the game. So it's been quite a journey, and it's a lot of fun to now work with the youth in the game and the development of the players, and try to make an influence like some others did for me, growing up.
When did you make the jump from coach to general manager, and why?
So just recently, and I'm actually still coaching, right? So I do have that feel as well at the youth level. It started with a scouting role. Worked closely with Callie Larson and Brad Kwong and the team here in Dubuque. Became the director of player personnel, so I started getting some exposure to the management side, the drafting piece of it, the strategy side of building a hockey team and building a staff. And I was fortunate to get a couple of years of working hand in hand with Callie, learning a lot. And quite frankly, the philosophies within the club and how we like to do business just aligned with how I like to go about my business on the hockey side with the coaching front. I was working with and still do work with the Pittsburgh Penguins on the development side there. And the things that we try to do there matched what we do in Dubuque. So it was just a natural fit, and I was excited to take on this responsibility.
So Dubuque had and continues to have a really good operation running, and you mentioned a couple of your predecessors. Mm-hmm. Brad's of course still there, but Callie moving on to Edmonton. So what did you learn in that period about what it takes to be successful in this role?
Yeah, I think one of the common character traits that all of those guys have is, they're not responsive individuals to little actions or little events. They're way more process driven. They're tactical. They play the long game, and I think that was probably number one on something that I learned from them was, patience is an important virtue in this game and is often overlooked, and it's not easy. We all have good weeks, bad weeks, good games, bad games, and judging the trends and looking for consistency in our process is what we're doing. And we look for individuals that believe in that and have the discipline to execute that on a day-to-day basis. So that's, we've got a great coaching staff that is aligned with our visions, right? And I think that synergy is what creates that success over time. Starts with the scouting staff as well. Like, we have guys that believe in our type of player and help us find the type of player. And that's super important, right? Is to kind of align your organization with the right like-minded individuals.
So how do you project how they're playing at 14, 15, 16, how they're going to play at maybe 17, 18, 19? What are you looking for?
The secret sauce, right? That's what everybody wants to know. It's not a perfect science, and it's not, we're not perfect in it. But I think if you go back to the roots of the player and what are they made of, right? What is their character component? What is their family like? Their values with education and life skills. They equal kids that are more inclined to handle the adversity of this league much better, and are more bought into long-term development versus the short-term, cookies that maybe they want to get, right? And maybe players that want to earn it a little bit more throughout the process. And I think we just target those types of players as much as we can. I think a lot of programs might say the same, but then they get distracted by the shiny toy. Our team's been pretty disciplined in that. It starts again with the ownership group and putting an emphasis on good people and doing our best to do, the best job we can to bring them in.
And you're talking to a lot of different people too, because you have the players, you have the parents, you have the advisors. Mm-hmm. So what's your pitch, and is your pitch different for all three groups?
It's fairly similar in a lot of ways. There might be certain areas that we focus more on with each individual, but I think first and foremost we try to explain, show the positivity within our environment and the growth environment that we try to create. So it starts with good billet homes. It starts with our academic coordinator in our Saint School that we're really proud of, and I know that got a little bit of press in the USA Hockey magazine this month with Joanne Gibson, and we force our high school players to come in and actually sit and do school, right? And that's something that's big with us. Our pride in our all academic team members that we've had and Scholars of the Year. Like, I think that regardless of which one we're speaking to, those things come first and foremost. Then we look at our development plans, right? And individual development plans, and not just the on-ice component, right? Like, what are they doing in the other hours that they're with us, right? Are they taking advantage of those hours? What are they doing in the community? How are we integrating into the community? All of those things matter to us. So we talk a lot about that with the agents, advisors, parents, kids, schools, and then I guess last, it really comes down to, like, are we willing to put our development hours where we say they're going to go, right? Like, are we going to buy into letting a kid go through the process together? And I think that's been proven over time that we're willing to do that. And there's other organizations in our league that do that as well, and they've had great success. That is sustained long-term success versus short-term, type of maybe success, and that's what we strive for. So I think that message is something we take a lot of pride in sharing, and helping lay out the groundwork. I think it shows if you look at statistical data, we believe in a certain style of play that's a lot of fun, right? Like, we're trying to outscore the other team and beat the other team. We play an aggressive style, make plays, teach on mistakes instead of punish per se. But again, that goes down to recruiting the right kids that believe in that and can be coached and are willing to go through that process with you together. And I think when you show recruits and agents and families that stuff, they're super excited about what their player could turn into when they come and play for an organization like Dubuque.
Shifting focus back to the league, and I know you mentioned the importance of patience in situations where you could be reactionary.
Yes.
The landscape has changed in junior hockey, and players have more opportunity to decide where they want to take their next steps and can find their way back to places that they maybe couldn't have a year ago. Mm-hmm. So how do you take that challenge and turn it into an opportunity?
Yeah, for us, it's looking at the controllable, factors here. What are we doing well? How can we improve? Can we help with the health and wellness of our athletes, our off-ice development program, mental skills? Can we, I guess for us, it's all those little details. Can we do them better? And if we do those things better, we can look ourselves in the mirror and our players and agents in the mirror and tell them, listen, this is the best place for your player to continue to develop in their career. And here's the statistics. Here's the schools our players have gone to. Here's, their success after. We look at our 52 NHL draft picks and our, 5 off our active roster last year alone. And we show, hey, we're process driven. We're going to work every day to make your player better. And we're going to live in today with our feet on the ground. But in the end, if you do these things, there is probability that you move to the next level and you accomplish your goals, right? And they're their goals. We stay in the present and try to help them to them. But as soon as you get ahead of yourself, that's where people get in trouble. And I think that for us, that's the message we're sending, right? The league is hard. It creates adversity. We practice a ton. We train a ton. We lift a ton. That's a benefit, right? That's a benefit. We don't play that many less games than maybe our competition. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's the way we go about it, right? We actually train and develop these athletes, and we're proud of that.